Given your last two losses?
Yeah, well, it's nice to win any game in the TFL, and especially Hobart, we're on a bit of a roll. No, the boys played pretty well.
Yeah, Bill, there was a stage, you know, when you're 8 goals up, but it was a bit of a struggle thereafter.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole theory of Hobart is just keep plodding away and persisting, and that's what they did. They got some good players, and our guys were under threat, and they learned from their losses the last 2 weeks, and we fought it out pretty well.
All right, you had Creswell back, Stiles, Queen and Mansfield.
Yes, that's right.
Probably gives you some stability in the side now.
Well, it just gives us a few more avenues to goals. The boys that we had there before were, you know, trying hard, and we blooded them, and it's good experience for them. But, you know, Creswell's got a touch of class, and so's Stiles, and that just helped us a little bit today.
Hay into the ruck, Honeybell to centre-half forward.
Yeah, well, we just felt that we needed a bit of a lift at centre-half forward. We've had to sacrifice Munchie, but he's a tremendous club, and he just said, yeah, I'll just play anywhere, and he's done the job for us there, and he's really competed well. And on the other hand, Nobby Hay was tremendous. He's been really good all year, Stephen Hay, and it's a real credit to him.
Bill, did the Prime Minister speak to you?
Yes, he just wished me all the best at three-quarter time. He's an old Swans man, and actually I met him when South Melbourne played Collingwood many years ago, and I was playing for Collingwood, but no, it was tremendous to meet him again.
All right, one final point on your full forward, Shane Fell. Great pair of hands, but kicking for goal?
Well, that's not usually one of his problems, but today he struggled to kick for goal. I think he still kicked 4 or 5. Shane Fell will do me.
You saw that shot there of Shane Fell missing. Well, Colin, it was interesting to hear Bill Picken say that he doesn't usually miss those sort of shots.
No, I saw him earlier on the year. He was very, very accurate kick for goal. And yesterday, 5'8" or 5'9" or something, which would have been disappointing, but they've come away with the points.
Well, that's right. Had he have been the other way round, they would have won by a lot more if it had been 8-5 or 9-5. Well, Gary Linton, part of the Glenorchy coaching staff this year, made a comeback yesterday in the reserves. He talks with Jim Manson.
Gary, you made a comeback in the reserves today.
Yes, Jim, yeah. I'd come back number however many, but there's a specific reason for that. You know, we've looked at the side over the last few weeks and we've really lacked players around the ball, you know, in both sides. And I've done a lot of training. I haven't done any match play, but I've done a lot of training, and I thought, you know, and the guys thought as well, that if I can just get amongst a lot of the reserve players, I mean, there's 17-year-old kids. We asked them to ruck rove, we asked them to rove, we asked them to play in the centre. And then we thought the other night, God, they don't know how to play in the centre. They don't know how to ruck rove. So, you know, I mean, I played and I felt good, and I just want to teach some of these kids how to play and get in their ear, that's all.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, what Super said there, Colin. We're laughing a bit because they're banging on cameras here, and we nearly all got caught there, didn't we? But it does make a lot of sense what Super said, because I mentioned about their young players really going for it yesterday and showing a lot of initiative and courage, and that's what I think Super is playing in the reserves for, to try and teach them out there on the ground.
Been a great club man, hasn't he? And that seems to be a tradition at Glenorchy. They have a lot of great clubmen.
Well, they've got a very good player in Billy Picken, who's captain coach, out there on the ground, and you couldn't get a better guy than Gary Linton on the bench.
Good to see.
So I think it'll work. Yep.
Well, they've been in the finals for the last 100-odd years or so.
And as we said, talking about them today, they're going to be back in the finals this year. They're just out of the 5 now. They're in 6th place on percentage. Well, 17-year-old Darren Creswell returned from Geelong and put in a great game yesterday. He talks now with Jim Manson.
Darren, welcome home.
Thanks a lot.
Geelong, a hard club to break into?
Yeah, it's very hard. They've got a lot of depth on the forward line. As you might be able to see, Bruce Lynn's in the reserves. Blighty's a pretty good coach. He's very disciplined in what players do on the field, and everyone's had their fair chance over there, though. He's equal. Every player has been equal as soon as he got there. But it's a very hard club with a lot of depth. Yeah, very hard club.
What's your future then?
I'm going to play the rest of the year here, and I'll probably make my decision after the finals here. But at the moment, I think I might return to Geelong next year. So I have a good year, but hopefully I will. So it looks like I might be going back next year. Yeah. I've been cleared back next year, so Geelong would have to clear me back again if I come back to Tassie next year.
And good luck to young Darren. I think he's really going to make the grade. He played well yesterday first up?
The VFL teams seem to be very interested or quite happy to have players coming back to Tasmania to play here because the standard has lifted so much.